we're going to move right into our next session with Gorgias. So this would be the, you could say the fancy bells and whistles side of the live chat tool if you wanted to use something either more advanced, or it's also the all-in-one and they have some AI superpowers on top of that. So where I would say, inbox comes in, it's going to be, I'm assuming, free, if not cheap, because since it's from Shopify, it should be able to integrate from the beginning, and it'll help you solve problems. As your company grows and scales, you get 3 agents, 5 agents, 10 agents, you're going to need a full-fledged help desk, and that's when you swap over to a tool like Gorgias. Give me 1 second. The session from Julia was pre-recorded, but it is still very good, and I want you to stick around. Watch this whole thing. She is at another event, and I or her team will be able to answer questions in chat. Let me go ahead and see if I can bring this on screen right now. We'll have Julia take it away.
Hey everyone, my name is Julia, and I'm the partner manager here at Gorgias. Super excited to be here today with you and to tell you a little bit more about Gorgias, what we're seeing for e-commerce strategies. And so with that, I will share my screen. Okay, awesome. Hopefully everyone can see this. Wish I could be here live, but I will be in Vegas for a conference, so we're doing it a little bit ahead of time. But yeah, so for today, we're going to be talking about elevating the customer experience for e-commerce growth, specifically around how we're seeing this with e-commerce trends through social media as well. So just a little bit about me. As I mentioned, my name is Julia. I'm the partner manager for the West Coast here at Gorgias. Prior to working at Gorgias, I've spent my career in the e-commerce space. So I worked at Yotpo. They do customer reviews for e-commerce websites, and then Wunderkind, formerly BounceX, and they primarily focus on email marketing and identifying anonymous traffic. So I've really been passionate about working with different D2C brands, learning about their vision, story, and thinking about ways that we can partner together. And then I've been at Gorgias since December. So it's been about 7 months now. Super exciting to see, how we're helping different brands with their customer support and thinking through really the holistic view of the customer. So some of the themes I want to touch on today, again, as I mentioned, I do want to keep this in line with some of the social media strategies that we're seeing. I also, have some focuses beyond that as well. So really going to be first talking through how to increase first response times through machine learning. Then I'll really hone into the omni-channel communication and figuring out where your customers are, how to best engage with them. And then lastly, we'll chat through some of the self-service and live chat, because those are also going to be really key for customer communication as well. So, one step that we've really wanted to better help brands understand is what your customers are asking. So we've been able to really, analyze some of our data on the back end to see what are customers writing into for brands about, what is top of mind. And time after time, what we see, primarily people are writing in around order status. So the other things you're seeing would be product availability and suggestions. So really what we want to also help brands with is being able to use this data to build new products, anticipate negative feedback before you lose those customers, and understand where in your processes you could be better. Especially for some of our clients, what I've seen is they've been able to build new products or innovations through some of the feedback they're receiving through their customers. For instance, one of our soda beverage brands, they have a great strategy, and they consistently got feedback about an orange soda flavor. And so they were able to launch that, put a social media campaign out there, and see a lot of sales generate through that. And again, the way that they were able, while they used social media to actually launch the campaign, the way that they were really able to understand that this was something they should be thinking about was listening to their customers and what their customers wanted and being able to aggregate that data. And so how can brands actually personalize their experiences and interactions with their customers? Most important is going to be omni-channel. So really leaning into the fact that no customer is simply just going to a website to find a brand. They're going to be interacting with your brands on Facebook, Instagram, maybe Twitter. There's going to be different channels that they're going to either discover your brand or to interact with it. Even the way I think about consumer behavior personally, and the way that I'm finding new brands, it's a lot through referrals, word of mouth, but most importantly is Instagram. A lot of times those targeted ads I get that almost seem creepy, like my phone is listening to me, is where I discover a lot of the brands. So that's typically my first touch point. Having that knowledge and then knowing that people are going to be interacting with your brand on those channels, what's going to be key is responding quickly and getting to the customers on those channels in order to drive them back to the website. And, I think an important note too is that customer support is not simply putting out fires and dealing with angry customers. We've seen a few different ways that our clients are thinking about how they respond to their customers. So even as I had mentioned, some of the ways I'm finding brands is going to be through referral programs, or another way that I, continue to shop at a brand is going to be through loyalty. Sephora does this fantastic job with their loyalty program, always reminding you of loyalty points you have and that it'll give you, this percentage or number off your next purchase. So for instance, in this example, if someone's writing in asking about their order, it's an opportunity to also embed this like email template macro that reminds them of the number of loyalty points that they have. So a great example of how you're able to interact with your customers, but also be able to take note of ways to drive them to have a repeat purchase too. And really being able to leverage social media to get your offers out there. As I mentioned, social media is a great way that people may either be asking questions about their products, or they may be engaging with your brand for the first time or showing their friend. You can see in this first example, so if this was someone who's tagging their friend, with heart emoji, and then their friend is responding, "Oh my gosh, we need." Personally, I've done this a lot. I do it as a hint to my friends of what I want for my birthday or Christmas present. I will say it works about 50% of the time, so I'll take it. But this is a great example. You can see then here they're saying, "Hey Megan, I agree, you need this. Use this PL10 for 10% off anything from the whole site. Happy shopping." So this does a couple of things. One, it engages with these brand advocates of yours. It shows them that you're hearing and seeing them. Two, it gives them kind of like a VIP feeling. I know when I've, tagged or responded on Instagram to a brand, and if they respond back to me, that feels really special and exciting to see. So it adds that level of like VIP treatment. And also, again, it's being able to respond quickly. These are medium to high intent purchasers, so being able to drive them back is going to be key. And through engagement on these comments, that's exactly how you're going to do that. That's what our clients are really seeing to be effective. Another example too, below here, Victor saying, "If I buy, can I return it?" Which a lot of people have that issue. They may be excited about a new brand, but they're not sure what the return policy is. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming to know where to find that information because, sometimes brands will have certain items that are final sale and you definitely can't return them. And in this example, they're responding saying, "Absolutely, we have 30-day no hassle returns. And we also have this Black Friday promo going on." So it's, again, that great example of how do we drive people back to the website through engaging with them on social media. And that's going to be really key for, customer support, customer experience, because a lot of these customers are engaging with about 3 to 5 channels before they actually make a purchase. And so being able to interact with them throughout their buyer journey is what's going to set you apart. We also have seen over 54% of young consumers who purchase from retailers first discover these brands on social media. So we know where the following is. We know where people are discovering brands like yours. The key is to engage with them on those channels. And what's great to see too is that through doing that, some of these brands are actually increasing sales and ad effectiveness by about 5% in an increase in ad spend. So it's also the reminder that if you're spending high quality dollars on your ad campaigns, you want to make sure they're performing well. This is a great way to help with the performance of your ad campaigns on Facebook and Instagram. DMs, for instance, are live too within Gorgias. So that's something that our clients really utilize, is being able to not only bring in, Facebook Messenger, Facebook comments, Instagram comments, but also having Instagram DMs within a help desk is going to be really key, especially because more and more people are seeing that, customers are reaching out to them on DMs because they assume they'll get a response. Another thing that our clients have found to be very effective is being able to understand how to prioritize tickets, because if you're thinking about a help desk and all the different support tickets you're getting, it's not simply tickets in, tickets out. You need to be thinking thoughtfully about, okay, how do I organize my tickets? Which ones do I start with? And one thing is being able to actually take social sentiments. So with this example, being able to actually look at on the left side of a help desk, okay, is something a social lead, a negative comment, or a social question? So what that actually means, a social lead is going to be, if someone, again, hearts that message, you want to be responding with maybe a discount code or something that's going to drive them back. A negative comment, like "this sucks," that's going to hurt the ROAS for that campaign. So either being able to hide that comment quickly or respond directly and work with that customer to reach a resolution. And lastly, social question. This could be something along the lines of, I usually am a size 27 in jeans. Would that be a small or medium for your leggings? So it's someone who's medium to high intent, and they're asking questions about your product or your brand. So again, being able to respond quickly is going to help get them back to the website and continue onto the buyer journey to actually make a purchase. Another really important aspect of this is going to be any sort of SMS or chat campaign. Because again, let's say we're working on those social media campaigns, engaging with those customers, then they get to the website. So we want to make sure we're also engaging with them with that capacity as well. Really crazy statistic we have seen is over 28% conversion rate for pre-sale chat or SMS reply to in less than 10 minutes. So again, that your customers are on social media, you want to engage with them there. Then we get to, the chat and SMS campaigns. And most important thing is responding quickly, and you're going to see a very high ROI from those campaigns. Here's an example. It was a couple years ago, December 2019, but really incredible data. What it's showing here was that, on December 2nd of 2019, so in one day, of the 494 pre-sale tickets, 230 of them converted. It was a 46% conversion rate. Over $22,000 were created via sales from this support team. And the really important things to note is the first response time was 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and resolution time was 21 minutes and 16 seconds. That is an incredible speed for first response time and resolution time. But again, the really important thing to note is if there's a certain day, like, the busy season in December, being able to make sure all hands are on deck for those instant channels like SMS or chat, where people are medium to high intent and they have just, a few qualifying questions in order to make that purchase. Self-service and live chat are other ways that you can build these connections. So again, live chat, pretty self-explanatory what we just reviewed, but self-service is actually enabling customers to check on the status of their order themselves. This is going to help mitigate some of those tickets around "where is my order" by about 30%. And what's great about that is it frees up time so that any sort of customer service agent can be focusing on engaging on social media and driving sales through customer support as well. Chat campaigns can serve a multitude of different use cases. So we've seen, for instance, that you can have the self-service, you can have a regular "let us know of any questions," but also if you have any objections that you typically see for any sort of chat, like if something is actually faux leather, and making sure that that is known to your customers, that's a great way to help almost create like a virtual retails associate online to mimic that experience of shopping in store. Here's one of my favorite client chat campaigns. So again, it's a beauty and skincare company, and they have this lip oil. It has the chat campaign, let me know if you need help choosing your perfect lip tint shade. This was actually a response that someone had received within this chat. So they're saying, "Hi, I'm 81, and after the pandemic, my skin type is sallow and gray." I think we all feel that way a little bit. I don't like bright red or glosses. This is my hair color. And so here were 2 recommendations that they had made based on this information. And then you can see shortly after, this customer had purchased 5 items, over $200 worth of products. So it really goes to show that, social media is kind of step 1, that engagement, making sure that the customers feel seen and heard, but then they are going to go on your website, and what's going to keep them on your website? Really relevant chat campaigns with fast response times like these, and you're going to see those purchases come in. Here was actually some of the sales driven from this support team as well. So really exciting to see, how that can really serve a team when they're engaging with their customers on these channels. Also, being able to personalize these shopping experiences. So, one that's going to help with repeat purchases, but also being able to increase conversion, and being able to bring in even simple things like a customer's first name shows a level of personalization. And loyal customers are over 9 times more likely to convert compared to a first-time shopper. So being able to consistently show that this customer, you have this information, you're taking more of a proactive versus reactive approach, is going to help create that experience that a customer really enjoys and admires versus feels like they had a terrible experience, and it's going to deter them from purchasing with you again. Tags is a key way to actually identify trends. So again, you may be looking at specific tags or trends within social media itself or overall to understand what's going well and where there are areas for improvement. And again, really being able to train your support team on what the different upsell opportunities are. So in this example, for instance, someone had reached out on Facebook Messenger, and they had a few questions around their order with their rings. They wanted help with the replacement. And so, the support agent is letting them know, by the way, I can definitely help you get your ring replaced. I just need a photo for, recommendations based on the damage. And by the way, we have this sweet deal going in. So if you give me your size and color ring, we can actually help you with the replacement. So the person sent photos and said, yeah, I'd like to upgrade. So again, when people are reaching out on these social media channels with any questions around their order, it's an opportunity to upsell regardless of the channel, and especially on social media channels as well. So lastly, I would say too, analytics is going to be key. Obviously, all of these ideas are exciting in theory, but being able to bring them into one place to track, okay, well, what actually is the conversion rate on chat, for instance, for these discounts used on social? How many of them are actually being used? Being able to track the conversion rate per agent is going to be important, as well as that helps to see if there's certain agents who are doing really well with driving sales. And if so, being able to make sure that they're embodying, that for the other agents to better understand what are the best practices there. And really, first response time, that is going to be key. I think that's a theme you can understand for not just social media, as I mentioned, but all of your customer support communication. First response time is key. And you can be selective with how you think about that for, again, if it's Black Friday and Cyber Monday, making sure that all hands on deck are, utilized for the chat campaigns and the SMS campaigns, but also being mindful of, knowing that if you want to aggregate all of your customer communication channels, that also means that you need to have a solid first response time for all of those channels. So things like Instagram, Facebook, etc. Really making sure that you're able to take that into consideration, because when people are reaching out to your brand, what's going to be most important to them is having a first response time that's quick. They hear back from you quickly and can work on that resolution with you. A little plug for Gorgias. Again, all of these things, I wanted to keep recommendations for what we're seeing from our clients to be effective. That being said, we do help with all of these things. So Gorgias, we're the #1 help desk for e-commerce. We work with Shopify, Magento, and BigCommerce, and we have over 6,000 brands. What we really aim to do is bring in all of these customer communication channels. So email, chat, Facebook, Messenger, and Instagram. Having a really solid integration with Shopify and those other e-commerce platforms. So you can take actions like seeing tracking, actually, refund, duplicating, editing orders within our platform and having that two-way sync. And being able to use automation to automate some of those responses for anything that's, a question that's coming up time after time, like where is my order? And lastly, being able to increase conversion and drive sales through support. So whether that comes from the social media integrations or again, like the chat integrations for once someone gets to the website, those are all things that we help with. Here's a couple of the brands we work with, some of my favorites too, like Olipop and Marine Lair. Obviously, so exciting to be a part of e-commerce day. And so if anyone's interested in learning more, we can give them their 2nd and 3rd month free on Gorgias. So if you're watching this and you're interested, here is my email address. Reach out to me and I'll make sure to get you set up. But thank you so much for having me today. It's always a pleasure and excited to continue things.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julia. I've got a few more things I would like to add to that as well. Before I do, I want to tell you guys about another great virtual event going on. Let me share my screen. This is kind of funny because they do start tomorrow, but because Gorgias is such a great partner of ours and it is a great event. It's another free event that you can attend. And I do want you to be here tomorrow, but you can get their sessions on demand as well. They're going to have Gary Vee. They're going to have Ezra Firestone. This is like, the who's who, Nick Sharma of e-commerce. So do check out their event here. I'm going to drop the link in chat for you. Let me find it. Find the chat box somewhere down here. You can check out DTCX here. Awesome. All right. And now one more thing I wanted to do, since we're on the conversation of live chat, we have a couple of extra minutes today. Sadly, we did have a tech showcase scheduled at this time, but the person who's going to do it has come down with COVID. So I'm kind of covering for them. I want to share some of my thoughts on live chat since we've been going really deep on this subject, and we were talking with Chris earlier. Julia showed us amazing advanced strategies for talking with people and how to track revenue, which is extremely important. And you can do these things, by the way, without a help desk like Gorgias. You could use Shopify Inbox. You could use another tool. Gorgias is just showing you the way that their system works with customer service reps and customer service teams. So what I'm showing you here is what I call the misadoption of live chat. A couple of years ago now, I did a study with Simpler. We did mystery shopper report of over 500 of the leading e-commerce brands. We found that of those 500 brands, 320 of them had chat live on the site. So already not really a full adoption of live chat. But what we learned later was that 261 of those conversations went straight to email. So it was email gated. So instead of, it was a live chat bubble, and then it said, give us your name, give us your email, we'll contact you later. And what's interesting about that is that those contacts actually took more than 24 hours and they were slower response times. This is a really bad experience, and we found that it decreases conversion rate. So my first tip to you on live chat is do not do live chat to essentially email gate. It's kind of like lying to the customer, like, hey, you want to talk to me? Nope, this is just a lead collection form. Sorry, haha, see you later, right? So don't do that. It actually decreases conversion rate. If you cannot be manning the chat, then just turn off the chat bubble if you can. So that's my first recommendation. Of the 59 brands out of 500 that were doing it right, 23 starts with the bot interaction and 36 starts with the human action, which is, it's okay to start with a human interaction, but look, that costs a lot of money. So we do recommend starting with the bot interaction, getting some rules, macros, FAQs and stuff in place to see if the customer can't self-serve themselves. If they can't find the answer, always at the end, ask the question, did that answer your question? Would you like to speak to somebody? If they say yes, then of course the goal is to have somebody respond immediately, come into the chat in less than 90 seconds in order to answer that question in the way that the customer is looking for. So of the kind of 59 people that had either bot or human interaction, we found that only 36 of them had a human respond in less than 90 seconds. So 36 out of 500 brands did it right, did what we consider the best practice for live chat. That means specifically that 93% of all e-commerce brands, at least as of 2 years ago, are doing live chat wrong. So this means it's still a huge opportunity for you today. And we see the adaptation is slow here. And so if you want to really think about how to be a standout brand, I do think that that in having real-time bot to human live chat interactions is the way to go. So she already went over some of these things. I just want to cover 2 quick case studies before we get into the next session. These are chat conversations that really happened, and I think explain the difference between selling via live chat versus like trying to get through a ticket and answer questions. So here, Cassie goes into live chat and says, "Hello, is this product currently in stock?" Julia responds, and not Julia from the previous session, just happens to be the same name. "Hi there, thanks for reaching out to our store. I'm happy to help here." Cassie says, "Hello." So we're not really getting anywhere very fast, but that's okay. "Thanks for your interest. Which lashes, which is the product, which product were you interested in?" Cassie repeats her answer, which is really confusing. And now we're wasting time, of course. So it's not off to a great start, but let's see if we can recover. Julia says, "Unfortunately, it does not look like we have these available at this time. I apologize." This is like a dead end, right? First, they're over apologizing. They don't really need to apologize for being out of stock, but they didn't like, I don't know, try and put another product or a similar product in there. They just left it hanging. Cassie goes, "Okay." Julia goes, "May I answer any additional questions for you?" Like Julia's like, "Can you just please leave the site since our lashes aren't here?" Right? And Cassie goes, "No, thank you." So what do you think is going to happen? Like Cassie is leaving. Cassie is not selling. Julia did a great job sending a customer away. This is what I call a fail from helping somebody in selling and closing them as a customer. Here's another brief fail, by the way, is if you see a pop-up that gives you 10% off and then the live chat only offers 5% off, you do need to keep those discounts congruent. That's just a random side chat. So let's go into another conversation, right? Cassie goes to another site. She says, "Do these product frames come in black?" Now we're at a glasses store, right? Sarah says, "Hi, Cassie, please hold on a second. Let me take a look." This is perfect because they responded quickly, and now Cassie is sitting on the site waiting for an answer. Cassie knows that somebody's working hard to figure it out. Sarah says, "Both colors for this product are in stock. It's only these 2." So it kind of corrects Cassie, let's say. And then Cassie says, "So only the blue and red?" And Sarah says, "Red and brown, but we have other cat eye shaped frames in black." See, Sarah's getting the idea that Cassie wants black. So Sarah is going to show them with a link to the product. And as you saw in Julia from Gorgias's example, you can actually link products in live chat if you're using the right type of tool, which is great. Sarah then, after a long period of silence, Sarah re-engages. "What about this one? It's a good cat eye shaped frame as well." Cassie says, "Yes, that may work. Thanks so much for your help." Sarah says, "You're welcome." She spells it wrong. Nobody even cares. We are closing the deal. We're going to close a customer here. All right, so that's my little side rant here on live chat and a few different conversation examples on how you can do better in that sales conversation. I'm going to go ahead and move us into our next session. I'm really excited for this one.